Hello everyone, today we are going to discuss another room on TryHackMe, and it's called Cupid's Matchmaker, and it's a continuity of the Love at the First Read CTF 2026, and its statement is to use your web exploitation skills against this matchmaking service, and it's given the difficulty of easy, and the description of this challenge is as such that tired of soulless AI algorithms, at Cupid's Matchmaker, real humans read your personality survey and personally match you with compatible singles. Our dedicated matchmaking team reviews every submission to ensure you find true love this Valentine's Day. No algorithms, no AI, just genuine human connection. We have the web port open on port 5000, and it looks like an cross-cloud scripting vulnerability from the description. Even since the dedicated matchmaking team reviews every submission, this means that there is a bot set up by the TryHackMe to view the submissions, and when there are submissions being reviewed, it's more commonly in cross-cloud scripting vulnerability, since that payload would be executed on the victim's browser, and we would get the cookie as a result of that. So a most common cross-site scripting payload is a script alert and script, and we're gonna try this on this and get to know about your. I'm gonna try this everywhere to see what response do we get as a result of all these payloads. So submit survey. Okay, so age must be equal to 19. Submit on survey. Okay, so there's a post request being sent up. Thank you, your matchmaking will. So by the looks of it, it doesn't look like a simple payload would work, and we need to fetch the cookie of the person viewing these requests. So for that, I'm gonna try a simple payload of cross-site scripting, which is get this. It's an image. Basically, this is the most basic stored cross-site scripting vulnerability. This payload is going to be saved in the some application database, and it's if it worked, then it's a stored cross-site scripting vulnerability, and when another user opens this page, the browser rendered this HTML, where this src is equals to x means that it fails to load, and on error, basically it fires this automatically to give a request to our own hosted Python server on our machine, and encode the cookie of the user with the base64, and then give this to our own hosted Python server with a get request. So the image is gonna fail to load, and as a result of this failure, on the onError function gets triggered, and onError function gets a new image from the source of the Python server that is hosted on our end, and when it is giving this get request, it's just giving its own cookie as a result of all this. I'm using this encoding to not disclose the flag publicly, and if anyone is gonna it's basically as such, when triggered, the application stored this cross-site scripting payload, and whenever there's an automated bot, more often in these challenges, but in a real scenario, there is a dedicated person who views these all requests, and whenever he clicks on it, then this is automatically rendered. This HTML is rendered due to some other leading causes that could be triggered for this rendering of HTML. For example, if that let me give you this survey is being saved as a .json file, and then it's being reviewed, and whenever it's being reviewed by the other person, then that JavaScript, that this malicious JavaScript is going to be executed on the end whenever that HTML of that particular JSON would be rendered. I'm taking JSON as an example. It might be possible that this response is either saved as entire HTML, and whenever it's being executed on the end of the admin, then it's a cross-site scripting vulnerability. So let's just run this payload, and let's just run this. I'm gonna give it on every. I don't know what is gonna work, and I'm gonna host a Python server here too to get the connection back 8000, and I'm gonna give my age 19. Okay, so I'm gonna try this on every. I don't know which one would work, but by the description it's generally a cross-site scripting vulnerability. So thank you. Our matchmaking team will review your submission shortly. So we should have a cookie. Yes, we have a cookie, which means that this vulnerability was there, this stored cross-site scripting vulnerability was there. And I'm gonna just to verify that this is a flag, I'm gonna decode a few characters out of it. This is the cookie that was stored as a flag, and I'm gonna place 64 decode along with that C1 to C9, and yeah, so here you can see that this is a flag. I hope you enjoyed this room. It was a stored cross-site scripting vulnerability, a great room to demonstrate the real impacts of really powerful payloads to fetch someone else's cookie and impersonate as the other person. So I really enjoyed this room. I hope you enjoyed this as well, and do check out my other videos, and I'm going to continue making the love at the first page CTF videos. And if you find out this interesting, do give a like, do leave a comment, and drop down any comments or any confusions related to this video, or you find out anything difficult or not easy to understand. So thanks for watching.